Yeah, cold steel. What's up? Let's take a look at this thing. I think a few of y'all been waiting on this one. I've been meaning to get to it, but this is a FL-38VK Karve with a K. Karve with a K, and 3 3/4 inch blade, Aus 10 steel, weighs 6 ounces. Got G10 scales, and it has the Atlas lock. Yeah. Karve with a K. Man, come on. Let's get rid of this stuff. Let's get that out of there. I'm going to slow roll it. Yeah. Yeah, what's up? And then, let me make sure here. Yeah. Oh, dreamy. Wow. Yeah, this is a large knife. This is a large knife. You know, I was talking to somebody recently, and they said that they were looking at getting what's that knife they were looking for? The Engage, because it was a large knife. Well, brother, this Karve, ooh wee, this is a large knife. Oh, wonderful pocket clip. Look at this thing. I mean, wow. Yeah, I had to take a break there. Yeah, so Karve, Atlas. What's the steel on this? Aus 10. Stonewash. Beautiful blade. Mm-mm-mm. And man, is this thing tuned up. I mean, it's running so well, it almost makes me feel like it's on wash or on bearings. Very, very, very nice. Well, man, let's get a look at this thing. Let's take it apart. And it's a 6 ounce knife. This is no lightweight piece either. It's got Loctite. Looks like one T6 right here. I would expect the G10 scale to come, and then the steel liner have further attachment. And I think with that Atlas lock, that's true. Yeah, it's encapsulated here with another liner. And there's BAFV. I have no idea. Huh. Somebody comment below. I'd look it up, but what a cool Easter egg. One of y'all comment. What's that mean? BAFV. B, I don't know. I can't even think of what that would be. Be a factor. Oop, that spring tried to go. But I stopped it from going. It's right there. Yep. There's that Atlas lock mechanism. It slides in there. You can see here, then that locks up, and that spring keeps that forward. Yep. And then to unlock it, you pull it back, and then you can rotate the knife. But wonderful, solid lockup. And of course, the way they test them, every time I talk about one of these, or even the triad lock, I mentioned that, the way they test them is they hang hundreds of pounds off of them, put an immense amount of tension on that. So here we've got copper to the steel, and then we've got Teflon to the blade, and same on this side. Now, I think I'm just going to wipe all that down, but I do want to get this off because I'm going to polish those washers. It's running so nice. I don't think I need to do anything to this. Honestly, I could have just left it together, but you know, all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy or something. I don't know. You know, I mean, it's part of my fun. Get to take them apart and tinker, play, you know. Act like I'm an engineer or a mechanic working on a precise tool. Oh, look at the stonewash on this thing. It's gorgeous. I do like stonewash, man. All right. Next. Everything's got this black coating on it. It's nice. Feels real tough. I don't know what kind of coating it is. There's another thing. Somebody could pop a comment, talk about that coating. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should look it up. Go to the site real quick, and then I could answer some of my own questions. I mean, it is my video, right? Asking you all to do all the legwork. Really nice jimping. Yeah, that's some sharp stuff, man. Definitely lock the finger in there. BAFV. A favorite Valentine. Nah, I don't think that's it. Kind of doesn't fit the motif. Goofy. All right. Got some wrestling coming up this weekend. First time back on the mat since the Fargo Nationals. So that's kind of exciting in my world. Get a little grappling in. My daughter. She's bumping up a weight from 105. She's going to wrestle 110, 112 this weekend. She's got a little 2-pound allowance. Off-season stuff tends to do that, so wrestlers don't have to grind and make big weight cuts to wrestle for, I don't know, non-sanctioned, non-record kept matches, but do know that there's at least 10 teams this weekend, so we should get, I don't know, 6-7 matches maybe. So it'll be a good weekend of wrestling. Let's polish these up. I'm going to use my 2-step process. I've got this belt right here that does a pretty good job of taking off all the burrs and tough stuff. Just run it. I don't run it a lot on this one because it is kind of an aggressive belt. I just kind of want to get it flat. And doing this, it does reveal high and low spots on these washers. I've showed it before, but big, beautiful brass washers here. Which is probably why it runs so good out of the gate. Yeah, I don't feel any burrs on these. They feel really smooth. They're not very polished, and we're about to fix that. We're going to polish them right up. Make them look like mirrors. Get them in that second step on this 3000 grit belt. And I'll pay a little more attention to it here on this belt. Spin it. Yeah, polished it up beautifully. Okay, nice. Like mirrors. It's like I got my shine box out. Somebody comes in the room, starts locking the door, getting on the defense, man. You catch me off guard. Cocky. Not prepared. Yeah, they're beautiful. Look like mirrors. All right, let's do some reassembly. How about that? So everything's going to come down on top of this. I'll put this pin in place, and we'll get that spring in there as well. So the way I do these springs, I treat them like an inchworm. I put an arc in them, like so, and actually I'm on the wrong side of that. No, I'm on the right side. Yep, it didn't need an arc. It just fit perfectly, which probably has something to do with why this thing runs so well, because there's not excess tension on this spring. It's just perfectly sized. I am going to put a little bit of the lube underneath this washer because I believe it can spin freely. So I'm going to lube that down there, and then I'm going to lube the top of it for the Teflon. You know, anything I can do to aid this rotating, why not? Okay, and then I'm going to lube that up and then the blade down on top of it. And I want to be careful with this spring, but I gotta, oh, I caught that Teflon washer. I want to be careful because I don't want to break it, cut it. I'll put this in the locked position. Yep. Money, dude. All right. Let's, we're going to get the other Teflon. Teflon Don. Some old timers might catch that one. Some others have no clue what that is. All right. Got plenty of oil in there now, so I think I'll cover up. Captured pivot. And I thought I saw some alignment issues here, but yeah, there we go. Wonderful. All right, we're all together. Really simple. I mean, you know, for it being kind of a complicated action or whatever, I mean, in the end, they're pretty simple. Pretty easy to disassemble. You know, the only thing on the disassembly and the reassembly is be careful of that spring, because it will want to go sprung and fly out of there. And if it does, I mean, unless you're in a white room with black walls or what, you know, like that thing could go anywhere and then you can't find it. Probably a little too tight. I'll come back to that. Let's get these other two screws in. Ah, there's one that goes underneath there. All right, let's back up. Goofball. Any of y'all see that? Any of y'all catch it? Or is it just me? Surely that's not the big screw, but it could be. Let's find out. No, it's the short one. The long one's the other one. Yeah. And I think, you know, in the long run, that's going to aid that action as well. There wasn't near enough tension on the back side of this, so it was definitely off balanced. Way too tight in the pivot and not tight back here at all. And so it would create an off balanced ergo with the mechanics, not hand ergos, but you know, component ergos, how they all come together and fit, function. Yeah, think I'm just a hair too tight. Yeah. Wow. Look at this thing, man. Well, let me call this action. So, it's kind of a unique beast, but even if I put it in the same category of, say, the Shark Lock or the Super Lock, the Civivi Super Lock, because they're all kind of the same kind of, it's got a back lever mechanism. I'm going to say that it's A-level action, but I'm going to leave it at an A, but I am going to mention that this particular lock is different from, say, the Shark Lock or even the Super Lock. And the reason being is it's farther back in the handle. And because of that, it's really intuitive to do that right there. To just reach up with the thumb, drop the blade onto the finger, and go like so. This it works wonderfully, but it requires a really big grip shift. That makes sense what I'm saying? Like, to go from this to gripping it, like that is a big grip shift because it's so far back in the knife. So I guess you wouldn't open it with that mechanism. You would use the thumb stud and flick it out, like normal, which puts you really close to being locked in there. Yeah, so I mean, it's wonderful, smooth as glass. Look at this thing. I mean, it's on washers, and it's locked up tight as can be, and yet runs really well. It's got great slow roll as well. Love that feeling. It's almost like a triad lock when that locks in from a slow roll. Oh, it's just wonderful. Let's talk ergonomics. So not so confident, very confident. I mean, whoop, that rises above a confident grip. It's got excellent finger guard built into that recess. Can really get down deep in there, locked in. There's no jimping here, but very comfortable. The profile here is slender, semi-contoured scale, so comfortable in hand. I do feel the pocket clip. You can see here that it's making its presence known. It's not hot and would make me let go and not slice. Like I could work with this knife, but man, I know it's there. Look at the impression in my hand. Yep, it's definitely there. And maybe it's just, it's not pokey. It's not sharp in any way. It's just the overall thinness of the knife, I guess, just allows me to grip it really tight, which puts an impression there. So I definitely know that it's there. The lanyard hole's kind of interesting. It's down low versus up high. It's down at the bottom here. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm not a lanyard guy, so I don't know. But speaking of that pocket clip, I mean, you already know looking at it, it's going to be amazing. And it feels like it's got a mountain of tension. It's over the thick stuff. Yeah, it's got a ton of tension. It's got this, well, I guess, listen, from a lanyard perspective, that would be great for where that is. If it was up at the top, it'd be in the pocket, where here, it can hang out and over. So pretty cool. And F5 clip, I mean, F5 Tornado couldn't rip that knife out of those shorts. And it holds just as well in standard jean thickness. Yeah, wonderful tension. Last spot, my spot in this back right pocket, front corner, wonderful. And that hole allows a wonderful grip to get that out. Gives you something to grip onto. I dig it. let's check it for safety. Clearly there's not anything in the back that's of concern. And so what it comes down to is the tip, and the tip is very recessed down in there. You're not reaching it. And the pocket clip's not recessed, and it doesn't have recessed screws, but it runs wonderfully. It's got wonderful tension on it. As far as safety, the blade's held in there pretty tight with the detent that's created with that lock and the spring. And so, I mean, I'm confident that I can handle this knife any way I want as long as the knife is closed and not make contact with the sharp parts. I did notice that I think I want to put a little dab of oil on the back right here, on that blade face, because that runs on that lock. Not that this needs any help in the action department, because it is smooth, man. Yeah, like Kentucky whiskey, boy, that is smooth. Wonderful. Let's check that blade. Oust 10. Is it sharp? Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderfully sharp. All right, price and availability. The coldsteel Karve. Okay, well, listen, I did a couple of things. I tried to find out what that coating is on the liners, and I could not find out. It's on the pocket clip as well. I'm going to guess it's just paint. It just feels like it's really nice, but I'm guessing. And the BAFV, looking up some information on the Cold Steel site, this is a Viking inspired knife. So it's inspired by a Viking boat that supposedly this this blade shape, it's a sea axe, I think, or something. Anyways, Viking inspired. So BAFV is that big ass effing Viking or Bia effing Viking? I'm guessing somewhere along those lines, but I don't know. I couldn't find any information on it anywhere. So maybe one of y'all know and you can share it with us. Price and availability. So I'm not going to talk about the places that you can get it. I'm just going to talk about the place you should go get this if you want one of these. And that's from the link below at Amazon. These are $125 to $110 roughly, pretty much everywhere I looked. With the Amazon link below, these at the time of this video are $70. So basically 30% below what I'm seeing anyplace else. So if you're interested in one of these, man, that seems like the place to get it, right? Why wouldn't you save 30%? All right. Well, the Cold Steel Karve, the BAFV of knives, Oust 10 stonewash steel, G10 liners, and it's got the Atlas lock. Pretty cool. It is a big knife too. If you're down on big knives, maybe this is an option. Appreciate y'all watching.